crazy. I'm still like, I'm still like, that roll yesterday that Tess had to do, chat, I almost chewed my hand off. I was so nervous about that roll. But this time I'm like, the fate's in somebody else's hands. And if I'm going to perma and Ray's not here to do it, it needs to be Tessa. It could have been Kirk. I would have wanted Kirk to do it too. But with the way the roleplay played out in this arc, it made more sense to get Tessa to have to put Tessa through it. Which it was such a fucked up thing to do. Chat. RP. Okay, RP. I didn't have a choice. I technically didn't have a choice. We all got to make tough decisions around here, all right? She rolled 217s. Bro, that number is fucking me up. When we were on top of Chiliad and I did the same roll Tessa did, because I had that idea popped in my head on the way up there. I'm like, I know what I'm going to do. So I went up there and I thought about it. And I'm like, I'm doing this. So I did that dice roll and it added up to 17. I'm like, there's no fucking way. Like, there's just no way that happened. Oh, man. Can you tell us how Chatty punched Jagger at the... Oh, that scene. I could tell you, yeah. But am I going to tell you? No. Not going to tell you. Is the arc over? Not quite. Not quite. It kind of depends. Now, depends how the therapy goes. Depends how, when clowns show up, how that goes. Who says what to Chatterbox? Or Jagger, right? I'm trying to decide, chat, how to move forward now with the character, right? I'm trying to decide how I want to do it in terms of these personalities, right? Because years back, I did do both, right? In a fucked up way, though. Obviously, like, you guys probably put that together now. And then I moved from that. And this, like, after I met Theo and Nikita and stuff like that, it changed a lot. Especially when I met Theo, like, I really changed the character because, like, we had, like, just every day, like, was so much fun with him and shit. Like, to this day, it still is. Like, that's my boy right there. And it just made sense to make Chatterbox be Chatterbox, right? But now I have an opening now that I could do both in a different way again, right? And I have an idea for it if I'm gonna do it, right? But it depends. It just depends. Was there ever a thought of a situation where Jagger dies and Chatter come out for good? At the very beginning, I did have that thought. But it wasn't just that thought. The thought was more like... The thought was more of like... It could be Jagger that dies. It could be Chatterbox that dies. But then I decided, nah. If they both go. That's what I kind of... Like, it makes more sense, like, they both go. I didn't want to give, like, it's either one or the other. I wanted to give, like, it's both. Because it makes things more difficult, right? It amps up the risk. It makes the decision-making on the other role players a lot more, like, extreme. And, I mean, like, chat, come on. Like, it actually, like, brought some good RP out of us, like, some of the clowns that argued about the situation and how to handle it, right? Because some took the hint that if Chatterbox gets shot, it ain't gonna be good, right? Because there was some clowns that were like, let's just shoot him. Right? It was cool, chat. It was fun. It was fun. It was a really fun story. I'm happy with it. I'm proud of it. It was fun. I'm proud of everybody that got involved, like all the clowns and like some of the cops and the therapist. Like everybody that got involved. It was very nice to see. I do feel like I could have did more. Like I could have amped up a little bit more things and got more people involved and like spread it out. got more clowns, more like spots, but it was hard. Like I was having a hard time thinking of things too, right? Like I said, it ain't over technically yet, but I could have did a little more. So here's what we're gonna do, chat. Here's my plan here. We're gonna jump on RP. If we have time, I'm gonna try to like do like Chatterbox and Jagger conversations and stuff like that. To prepare the therapy, whatever. If the therapy thing happens before I do that, then just we'll pretend like the conversation happened. You guys just didn't get to see it. It was like an overnight conversation. I'm still like, I still don't even know if I'm gonna let Chatterbox take the stand or if it's gonna be Jagger that takes the stand. I'm still on the line with that one. I don't know like which would be better RP. I think it'd be funnier if Chatterbox did it. If Jagger did, it'd be a lot more serious and like to the point, right? And I don't know if I want that. Maybe both. I don't want to do both. Because if I do both, chat, they're gonna look at chat like they're gonna look at the character like he's a fucking nutcase, and it's probably not gonna have a good outcome, right? I need to make sure there's balance, right? I need what Mary said to have an effect, right? Mary had some deep advice there, right? And I need it to have an effect. There was one day there, the one day that she showed up, which that really good conversation Jagger and Tessa had. She brought Bobby to the funhouse, so Bobby was gonna come in, and I felt bad because I didn't let him. I felt really bad, but I couldn't let him because they would have been too much of a powerhouse in there. Those two together would have been a powerhouse and would have clocked Jagger really bad. And I couldn't have that. I couldn't have that because it would have made things... It would have sped things up a little too much. If I had only one of them, which obviously was Tessa, I was able to give a lot more pushback because you're not getting ganged up on, right? You know what I mean? So I had to kind of push Bobby out of that one. But I'm so happy that he stuck around and he came to talk to Chatterbox afterwards. It was a good arc. This was a good arc. Like I said, I still don't know if it's over yet. Quite yet. I don't know what else is going to happen. I'm just going to roll with punches, chat. And I'm just going to feel out the environment and go based off what other people do and say. Things could take a really terrible turn still. If somebody pushes it that way. Or things are going to heal. We almost perma'd yesterday, and I'm still... My anxiety was fucking me up with that one. Holy shit. But I love the adrenaline. I loved the adrenaline. Question, were you cooking this up since Ray left? Kind of. Kind of. I had ideas, and the reason why I did the reason why I did certain things when she was going through her arc was to set myself up for if she left, because I didn't actually think she was gonna leave when she did. I thought she was gonna be role playing a little bit longer, right? I knew she was kind of getting burned out, right? But I didn't think it'd be that quick. So I'm glad that I made the decisions I made, right? Like a lot of people are like, oh, what the hell? He used his real voice and stuff like that when he said he's at peace and shit like that. I purposely did that to set myself up for some bullshit later, right? Thank God I did it because it worked. It really worked out for me. So, I always kind of wanted to do this battle with Chatterbox at some point in time. I never thought I would be able to do it because, you know, like, I mean, those that watch 3.0, like, you wouldn't see something like this coming, right? But Ray really changed things and gave us like some crazy RP. And when she left and stuff, like, I was so like, I don't know, I had a lot of drive still, right? I had a lot of drive still, so I wanted to cook something up. That's why I started doing the memories and stuff like that. And I didn't want to leak anything. Because I did... Y'all had no idea this was coming, right? Like, you guys had no idea this was coming. And the reason why I didn't want to say anything was because when and if, at the time, when I was thinking if we got to this point, to this arc, that I didn't want anybody to understand what was happening, right? I wanted just me to know and see if people could figure it out, right? And if nobody could figure out, I would start giving leads to it, which is what I did, right? Yeah, so, like, for those who still don't understand, it was Jagger that was doing the triggers all that time. No one understood why the memories were happening, right? People are, like, speculating, oh, it's because of the raised blood, this and that. It was Jagger starting to manipulate and drive Chatterbox up the fucking wall to make him vulnerable and think he's nuts to take control is what we led to, right? Did you ever write down ideas, outcomes? No, I didn't write anything down. I kind of wish I did. I kind of wish I wrote down what I was doing as I was doing it so I could remember. Because, chat, I'm going to forget. Like, my brain is so, like... I got memory loss like crazy. I got the memory of a fish, dude. Like, I'm going to forget my steps and how I did things eventually, right? Thank God it's, in VODs, but yeah. For those that are questioning about the mask, I know there was people in chat the other day saying, well, like, now that Chatterbox has this mask, he's not going to be worried about his other mask. How incorrect you are. Chatterbox does not want to keep the split mask. Chatterbox wants his mask back. He does. He wants Cups to come back. He does. But he also does want that mask back. He wants Cups to bring it back. He doesn't want to keep the mask he has. I mean, he'll keep it, but he doesn't want to wear it every day because that mask does not have good history tied to it. It does not have good history tied to it. The way I roleplayed that mask was because a long time ago, which there is no VOD of this because I did not stream this at the time. This was before I streamed, but it did happen. Chatterbox did kidnap 40 people. Chatterbox brought 40 people to the basement of the funhouse and forced them all to play pretty fucked up games in which 39 people died. 39 people did die. The last person was forced to was to chop up all the bodies because you could harvest people's organs and load them into the fridge. What essentially they win out of all that is their life. They called the cops when they left, and the cops showed up. They shot Chatterbox and beat the fuck out of him with batons. They took his mask, and one person roleplayed that they fucked his mask up. So I used that because they actually ripped up they actually, like, wrecked the mask. Like, RP wrecked it and threw it in the basement. So I used that. I remembered that, and I'm like, I'm going to use that. That Chatterbox kind of stitched a bit of what was left of it back together. All that blood on it was from the murders that happened in that basement. And it looks all dirty and rugged because it's been down there for so long, all fucked up, right? So he just kind of stitched and tried to put it back together the best he could. Yeah. It's not a very good mask because Chatterbox doesn't like that part, like that past, right? So that's the lore on that, right? Y'all would never put that one together because there was never a time where I streamed that, right? So I feel like I should have told you guys about this a little bit before. Maybe it would have made more sense, but I am at the same time glad I waited. So